Friday Night Lights Section 6 Girls Flag Football is on Fridays at 7 p.m. on BTPM Create, Spectrum Channel 1275, BTPM YouTube, and on BTPM NPR, FM 88.7. Presented by Villa Maria College, Western New York's home for innovative programs and unmatched support. Friday Night Lights is supported by our members and by Dick's House of Sport, the WNED Foundation, SEI, Mr. Goodbar, Denny's, Brighton Liquor, and Chef's Restaurant. In 2024, two teams joined Section 6 Girls Flag Football. The Hutch Tech Engineers, composed of players from 10 different Buffalo Public Schools, and the Kenmore Devil Dogs, which combined Kenmore East and West. The Engineers have quadrupled their win total from year 1 to year 2, while the Devil Dogs are in search of improving upon the great success of last season when they fell in the sectional final. It's the 4-6-1 Hutch Tech Engineers against the 9-3 Kenmore Devil Dogs. This is the Section 6 Class A Quarterfinal on BTPM's Friday Night Lights, presented by Villa Maria College. Hello, friends. Welcome inside the Lou Reuter Press Box. Jack Kreuzer joined by Keith Wing. Keith, thanks for being here this week. Excited to have you with us.
Thanks for having me, Jack. This is going to be a great game. Got two great coaches, two great teams. Can't wait to see the action.
Should be a fun one between two teams that met in the regular season that determined this seeding in part. It's the 3 in Kenmore versus the 6 in Hutch Tech as we look at the Class A playoff bracket in girls flag football. Kenmore, the 3 seed, Hutch Tech, the 6, and the winner will take on West Seneca, who just moments ago knocked off the 2nd seed Jamestown in the Class A flag football bracket. We begin our preview tonight with the Hutch Tech Engineers and our Denny's head coach resume. Denny's, America's Diner, is always open. Laura Dishner is in her 2nd season at the helm of the Buffalo Public Schools program, taking the Engineers from a 1-9 record last year to a 4-win regular season, steadily building this program as the sport continues to grow. Notably, throughout the course of this season, Hutch Tech has showed up in games against tough competition, playing a draw versus Orchard Park, defeating West Seneca, and holding this same Kenmore squad to a 12-0 ball game just under 1 month ago. Our spotlight player tonight from Hutch Tech is the senior running back and linebacker who goes to MST High School, Shay Whedon. She's leading the way with 860 total offensive yards this season.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what. Shay Whedon has missed do everything for Hutch Tech. Shay Whedon is electric whenever she has the ball in her hands, and Shay Whedon is just a tackling machine. Not only that, every time the ball's in the air, you expect her to intercept it. She's got 7 picks this year, and she is just one of the best players in Section 6, hands down.
Trying to defend Shay and company will be the Kenmore Devil Dogs tonight, the number 3 seed, and our Denny's head coach resume goes to Dan Hannon with a 23-6 record in his first 2 seasons as a program, falling in the sectional final a year ago. They've got a little bit of revenge on their mind coming into tonight.
Yeah, Dan Hannon is really well known throughout the area. He's one of the best coaches there is. From the moment they put this team together last year, they have just been a team that has been on the rise and incredibly competitive. So really excited to see what they can do here tonight, see if they can make a run into sectionals.
Recently, Kenmore racked up impressive wins over Lockport, defending champs Orchard Park, but a late-season 33-0 loss to Lancaster slotted them in as the 3rd seed.
Well, you know, and sometimes that happens. Sometimes you lose a game that is a little more lopsided than you'd like to a great team like they did, but hey, sometimes that's a wake-up call, and that's a wake-up call you need going into playoffs.
Our spotlight player from Kenmore tonight, earlier this year on Friday Night Lights, the junior Mia Colosimo scored 3 touchdowns for the Devil Dogs in their win over Orchard Park, earning her spotlight tonight. Our objectives for tonight, the Hutch Tech Engineers. Number 1, keep the offense simple.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, Hutch Tech is starting a quarterback in her 2nd ever career start, Aubrey Stauffenberger. She is very athletic, very talented, but you got to keep it simple for her. You don't want the game to get overwhelming. Get her some completions early. Get her moving out of the pocket. That's where she's going to have a lot of success. She's very mobile, incredibly good athlete, so let her do her thing.
Key number 2 for Hutch Tech, force Ferrari to throw.
So Samantha Ferrari does everything well. She runs and passes well, but you can't have her beat you with both things. So you got to really control her running game. If you keep her in the pocket and you make her throw the balls, it increases your chances of tip balls, interceptions, because you as Hutch Tech have some outstanding defensive backs. So really keep her in the pocket with a controlled rush upfield. Make sure she's throwing the ball.
On the flip side, our objectives for Kenmore. Number 1, keep them off balance.
So Kenmore, in my opinion, needs to do a really great job of throwing unbalanced looks at Hutch Tech. Trips, quads, different things like that, so that you can create some mesh routes, some tunnel screens, things of that nature, because Hutch Tech hasn't always done a great job of reacting when a team is off balance.
The second key for Kenmore, confuse their quarterback.
Yeah, like I said, we have a newer quarterback here, and the Corey Martin defense is incredible. He needs to keep that pass rush up, really get after the quarterback, make her very uncomfortable in this here, her second start.
When we return, we have the girls flag football Section 6 Class A quarterfinal between Hutch Tech and Kenmore. This has been the Villa Maria College pregame show. Villa Maria College, Western New York's home for innovative programs and unmatched support. Our game begins after this.
Visit Villa Maria College and discover what it means to be a Viking. Come see the energy, teamwork, and pride that makes the Villa Vikings unstoppable. Schedule your tour at visit.villa.edu.
Just about 60 degrees and a bit windy in Kenmore, New York at Sparky Adams Field. We're set for action in the Class A quarterfinal. The 3-seed Kenmore will defend as the 6-seed Hutch Tech takes first possession at their own 14, working left to right. Wearing their traveling white uniforms with blue buffalo spelled out across the chest. The freshman quarterback, Aubrey Stauffenberger, hands it off right away to Ty Roel Cox, the senior from Hutch Tech. She stopped behind the line of scrimmage as Kenmore's Olivia Bowden pulls the flag for maybe a gain of just 1. Second down and 5 from the 15. Stauffenberger, 5 yards behind, takes the snap, hands it off for our spotlight player, Whedon, from right to left. Turns upfield at the far numbers and gets her flag pulled at the 21. It's a first down for the Engineers.
And that's what you want to do if you're Hutch Tech. Feed the ball to Shea Whedon. Like I said, she's do everything for them. She's an electric player. If you want to give the ball 20, 25 times to her when you're on offense.
The senior from MST, Math and Science Technical High School in the city of Buffalo, led the team with just under 900 total yards in the regular season. A clear reason why Hutch Tech improved so much from year 1 to year 2 is Whedon's step up this season. First down and 18 for Hutch Tech at the 22. Stauffenberger takes the snap, fakes the give to Whedon, now throws over the middle, and it's caught at the 25 by Roel Cox. Her flag pulled right after making the grab, and it'll move the sticks just about 4 yards forward for second down.
A little bit surprising there. Kenmore has really been rushing one rusher only so far, and when you have the newer quarterback, you kind of like to see a team put a little more pressure on her. So we're going to see if they make an adjustment going forward.
Second and long. We haven't seen Stauffenberger air it out. She hasn't had to yet.
Now here we go, 2 pass rushers.
The freshman takes the snap, tucks it under her right arm, and takes off as the pressure comes across the 30 as the flag pulled at the 34 by Gianna Gullo.
Really good blocking up front there by Buffalo, actually. Both the pass rushers came across. They really moved their feet well, got in front of the pass rushers, let Stauffenberger find a lane, and she made it count.
Looking for the Mr. Goodbar first down. It's 3rd and about 7 for Hutch Tech and the Buffalo Public Schools. Approaching the midfield stripe from their own 33. Stauffenberger barks out the call, takes the snap belt high, has to run it, and her flag is pulled behind the line of scrimmage.
They faked the jet sweep there, and Stauffenberger tried keeping that ball up the middle. Unfortunately, that didn't work out for him. Brings up an interesting choice here at midfield. Looks like they are going to punt there, Jack.
Hutch Tech will punt. Credit Lucy Curry with the stop defensively. She's been a demon for the Hutch Tech Engineers. In their game earlier this season, Curry had an interception that was game-changing on April the 21st. Now she gets a tackle for loss that forces a punt. Kenmore's got some speedy returners as well. Nia Rogers, the high boot, fielded at the 29-yard line by Kenmore, and Avery Johnson cannot shake free. Great work from Zanea Hamilton, who gets all the way down to pull the flag right where the punt was received at the 29-yard line.
That was a really nice open field tackle there by Hamilton coming downfield. Sometimes you run past those runners. She got a great breakdown position, pulled the flag. Really well done.
So with 8:40 to go in the opening quarter of this Section 6 playoff game, Kenmore gets a stop and now have their first offensive drive for the quarterback Samantha Ferreri, the sophomore southpaw at her own 29. Throws to the right side behind the line of scrimmage. It's caught by Landon Dabney. She tries to swivel her way across the 30 where her flag is pulled for a minimal gain.
So that was interesting because Kenmore came out there with 5 wide receivers to the right, and I bet you a lot of that was just to see how Buffalo was going to react. So sometimes you run a lot of formations in your scripted plays early in the game just to see what the other team does defensively. It did not look like Hutch Tech overcompensated for the 5 wide receivers, so we'll see what they go to now. Looks like a trips look on the left.
Ferreri in the gun for 2nd down and 9. Takes the snap, hands it off, coming right to left, Gianna Colosimo. She turns up at the 29. Her flag is pulled. Tayana Roel Cox with the stop for Hutch Tech. It's a tackle for loss. 2 yards backward for Kenmore, and they face 3rd and 10 from the 30.
This Hutch Tech's defense off to a quick start here. They're really getting after Kenmore.
The Devil Dogs went 9-3 in this regular season, including a 12-0 win over Hutch Tech just about a month ago.
We have 5 receivers again to the left. Let's see what they do. Trying to create some mismatches.
3rd and 10. Ferreri tries the hard count, nothing doing. The Devil Dogs take a peek to their left. Coach Dan Hannon calls out a new play. Another hard count, nothing doing once more.
You know, interesting there that the Kenmore Devil Dogs did not take a timeout right before the clock ran out. You know, great decision there to do the hard count, see if you can get half of it back there, but really unfortunate they were not able to get the time off in time.
So a penalty marker thrown before the snap. It's a delay of game that Kenmore takes seemingly willingly, backs them up 5 yards now for 3rd and 15 from their own 25. Same formation with 5 wide to the left. Ferreri in the gun, takes the snap. Peeks to her left, throws it that way to Mia Colosimo. She dances her way at the near 25, cuts up to the far hashes where her flag is yanked away by Jasmine Hoax. The 7th grader for Hutch Tech gets the stop, and Kenmore will elect to punt.
Now, don't be surprised later in the game if you see some kind of double pass out of a similar formation, the way they were drifting some of those slot receivers back there. Almost looks like they might set something up for later in the game.
How about the 7th grader from PS 81, Jasmine Hoax?
Good for her.
Mia Colosimo, not easy to stop, and Hoax did it on 3rd and long. Now Colosimo with a terrific boot that goes all the way back to the Hutch Tech 25. Fielded there and turning up the far sideline is Wooden, right in front of her bench area. She gets close to midfield, and that fires up the BPS sideline. They'll start their 2nd offensive drive 5 yards away from the midfield stripe with 5:54 to go in the first quarter. First down brought to you by Mr. Goodbar, your home for game day headquarters on Elmwood Avenue.
You have your offensive coordinator's dream right here. You have 1st and 5. So if you're calling plays right now for Hutch Tech, you think you have 4 downs to get this. So I would not be surprised if Coach Dershner here is going to take a shot or two, get creative with some different things that she can really go after a deep ball.
2nd ever career start for the freshman quarterback Aubrey Stauffenberger after the quarterback that started most this season, Naya Satchel, went down with an injury just in the last 2 weeks.
Looks like we're having a substitution issue here.
Hutch Tech only had 6 players on the field. So out comes Zanea Hamilton. 1st and 5. Passing play, left side, over the hands of Lucy Curry and caught, and a first down for Hutch Tech. Oh, what a nifty pass and a great grab from Shea Whedon.
Yeah, keep feeding Shea Whedon if you're Hutch Tech. That's what you want to do. She is electric.
And way to feather that in from Stauffenberger as well.
Yeah, they ran a little orbit bubble screen motion there. That's where it looked like the ball was going, but Shea went out in the flats right there, caught the ball. Fantastic job by Hutch Tech.
So a gain of 6 sets up first down and 19. A Mr. Goodbar first down, now inside Kenmore territory. Stauffenberger hands it off. Juking in the backfield, Roel Cox turns up the left sideline, spins her hips to evade one defender at the 35. And Gianna Make-It-Mia Calcimo, who gets the stop. Second down and long for Hutch Tech.
Jack, same formation there, same motion. They ran that orbit motion back with Ty. She went back in the backfield, this time taking the handoff, getting herself some positive yardage, setting themselves up in second and manageable.
A lot of energy from the far sideline. In a 0-0 game approaching 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Second down and 15 from the 35 of Kenmore. And a missed handled pass, a handoff for Shea Whedon that falls to the turf. The lucky part about flag football, there's really no harm to that play aside from a loss of down.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, as a coach, that drives you mad because those are the things you work on every single day. You work on the handoffs, the correct arm going up, how to receive the handoff every single day. And so when those balls hit the turf, it just makes you a little bit mental. But see if Hutch Tech can recover right here.
It's the beauty of having the head coach of the Villa Maria College flag football team, Keith Wing, with us tonight. We get to see what a collegiate level coach sees at field level. Third down and 19. Back near midfield at the 39. Stauffenberger fakes the handoff, throws it over the middle of the field, nearly intercepted, and it falls incomplete as Gianna Gullo watched it go through her hands.
You know, interesting choice here for Hutch Tech, but it looks like they're going to punt. I'm going to tell you this is a great decision by them. You can really pin Kenmore back in their own territory, give them long down and distance to go, really set your defense, which has looked really great so far, up for success.
The wind is aiding Kenmore in this situation, blowing from right to left across your radio dial. Rogers to give it a boot from midfield, even despite the wind, puts it into the 20-yard line at the 18. Returned by Dabney, and her flag yanked again. And once again, it's Jasmine Hoax, the 7th grader, who gets the stop on special teams.
Good for her. That's a nice play, open field. Now, it looks like where they set the ball is right on the line. So what I was talking about earlier with the offensive coordinator's dream, this is offensive coordinator's nightmare. You do not want 1st and 20. It is hard to get first down when on 4 plays, especially if you have dropped handoffs, mistakes, things of that nature. They really set you back. So 1st and 20 is tough to make.
Certainly in a playoff game as well.
Certainly against this defense. They are so warming.
2.5 to go in the opening quarter. No score. Kenmore's second offensive possession. Ferrari in the gun. Unbalanced formation to her left. She peeks that way and throws it at the line of scrimmage to Dabney, who turns upfield with blockers, gets to the 30 before she rumbles out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And right there, it'll be a pickup of 10 or 11 on the ground. Nice work there from Dabney.
You know, that's a tunnel screen right there, and Dabney got the ball, and the receivers ahead of her did a really good job of just setting themselves up in a picket fence. Now, you can't really block downfield the same way you could in the tackle game, but they got themselves set up and made it hard for the Hutch Tech players to get in and get the flag. Really good play, got half of it back, really good start on first down.
For those that joined us last week from Pioneer, where we saw Fredonia and Pioneer go back and forth, both of those teams used those blocking schemes tremendously. Under 2 minutes to go in the first. Second down and 9 for Kenmore after the pickup of 11. Ferrari rolls to her left. The southpaw chase from behind, and she is sacked. Zanaya Hamilton with the stop for the Engineers. The sophomore from Bennett High School moves the chains backward.
Really nice play there by Hamilton. You know, Ferrari is quick, and she is lethal on her ground game. That's one of the things we talked about in our pregame objectives for the game. You got to stop the Ferrari ground game. You got to make her as one-dimensional as possible because she is a great, great player. And if you can take away one of her tools, that's going to help you a lot.
Samantha Ferrari as well this season. Just great on the ground. 800 yards with her legs alone. Third down and 14 from the 26. She's going to air it out. Left side, tipped again, and picked off. Tayana Roel Cox intercepts it for Hutch Tech. The Engineers turn the ball over for the first time today.
That was a nice pick right there. Pass was thrown, got tipped. Really nice tip drill right there. Caught the ball, got themselves set up in a nice 1st and 18 right here.
It's the 5th interception of the season for the senior from Hutch Tech, Tayana Roel Cox.
Yeah, she certainly came to play today, that's for sure.
Now the Engineers with under 30 seconds to go in this first quarter. Stauffenberger wants to throw on 1st and 19, and her flag is pulled. Avery Johnson in the backfield. The freshman for Kenmore comes up big.
You know, she had some time there, just couldn't find any open receivers. That's really a coverage sack right there. They had 3 receivers on the left side at 3 different levels going deep, and all 3 of them were covered. Really nice job by Kenmore. Gave their defensive pass rushers time to get upfield and make that sack.
Final 10 seconds of the quarter ticking away. Hutch Tech looks like they want to run one more play. 2nd and 22. And now the Engineers just wanted to see the formation Kenmore was lining up in. We have a barn burner building in Kenmore, New York. No score after 1. Your score brought to you by Dick's House of Sports. Sport happens here, now open on Ridge Lee Road in Amherst. We're scoreless through 1 on Friday Night Lights.
Visit Villa Maria College and discover what it means to be a Viking. Come see the energy, teamwork, and pride that makes the Villa Vikings unstoppable. Schedule your tour at visit.villa.edu.
We've always believed that sport has the power to change lives. It's happened here for decades. Community happens here. Sport happens here. The all-new Dick's House of Sport, a new destination for sport.
Right here in Amherst.
Buffalo Toronto Public Media has new and innovative ways to generate revenue for your business. We have a robust menu of digital features that can help your business grow. Contact Bill Sauer at 716-845-7000.
Around Western New York, brought to you by the Buffalo and Erie County Public Library. It's playoff week, some quarterfinals underway today. A pre-quarter game, the only upset of the pre-quarters. Number 11, Amherst in Class B, upsets number 6, Williamsville North, 12-7. And then tomorrow, Class B and Class C have their quarterfinal games. Keith, when you look at this list of 4 games tomorrow, what excites you the most?
So North Tonawanda versus Will South. They played earlier this year, not too long ago, and that was a barn burner. I mean, it was a high-scoring game. 2 great coaches. Going to take some shots here.
At the 23-yard line is where Mia Colosimo finally goes out of bounds. That is her team-leading 5th interception of the season. And just great work off the deflection of Jada Satchel-Carrier, who nearly hauled it in for a big gain for Hutch Tech. Instead, it's 1st and 3 at the 23 for Kenmore, left to right. The throw from Ferrari behind the line of scrimmage, caught by Lucy Curry. She tops her way inside the first down area into the red zone. 1st and goal at the 15 for Kenmore.
You know, again, we have quads to the right, which with the orbit motion turns into quints. And the receiver did a great job. She got herself upfield. All the blockers got themselves in good position, making it really difficult on Hutch Tech. Excellent play.
The BPS defense stood out mightily in the first quarter. Let's see if they can get a goal line stop as they did a month ago against this Kenmore team. Ferrari Peeks to her left, throws that way. It's caught by Gianna Gullo. Her flag is plucked right away.
Looks like Zanaya Hamilton again with that play. That was a fantastic pull. Out in open space like that, that's tricky. You know, your opponent's going full speed, you're going full speed, get in a breakdown position, attack that hip like she did right there, make a nice flag pull for your team. Great job.
Second down and goal. What's impressed you most about a Hutch Tech defense?
The Hutch Tech defense is swarming. Everybody's moving. Everybody's in position. They're in keeping contain on Ferrari as best they can, who's a fantastic player. They are really all over the place, even when they have these unbalanced looks.
2nd and 17. Goal to go for Kenmore. In motion is Gullo. Ferrari has the option, has her flag so calmly removed behind the line of scrimmage. Ramaya Avent nonchalantly stops the play.
No, I'll take that.
Usually they hold it up over their head. I got it, they're fired up. Not Avent. Yeah, there's one play. On to the next. Now she has a laugh about it. 3rd down and goal now for Kenmore. Ferrari hasn't thrown it downfield since that interception from Roel Cox's last possession. The Devil Dogs peek to their right. Coach Dan Hannon relays the call. The sophomore quarterback peeks to her right, throws that way across the middle of the field. It's caught 2 yards downfield by Dabney, and she's stopped in her tracks. Janelle Nation and Jasmine Hoax in the way.
Very good. Yeah, Shea Whedon over there, too, making a play. Shea Whedon is just everywhere. Over 100 flag pulls this season. She is, as I said earlier in the broadcast, one of the best players in Section 6. It's usually a mistake if you're throwing the ball her way.
The winner plays the 7 seed, West Seneca, in the semifinal Wednesday after they upset Jamestown 14-13.
Congratulations to Coach Rudy Fish and his West Seneca team.
4th and goal for Kenmore. Ferrari looks left, then right, feeling the pressure, airs it out, back of the end zone. It tips off the hands of Mia Colosimo and falls incomplete. The Engineers get the stop.
Really unfortunate there for Kenmore. Had the receiver, just went off the end of her fingertips. Had a big opportunity there for a score. Now the defense has to step up, get a turnover like they did in their last possession, put their offense back in another good scoring opportunity.
What a game we've got so far. All defense. 3 punts on the 3 first possessions, then the last 3. Interception, and that turnover on downs from Kenmore with 8:46 to go in the first half. It's Hutch Tech's possession. From their own 14. Stauffenberger hands it off from right to left. Turning upfield at the near numbers is Roel Cox. She's stopped. Or check that. It's Zanaya Hamilton who gets the handoff. She gets about 5 yards. 2nd down and short. Perhaps a chance for a shot downfield.
Yeah, you know, it's going to be interesting because I've been saying that, but I'm not sure if Coach Dishner is going to want to do that with the freshman quarterback. I think it's worth it. You have some really dynamic receivers like Shea Whedon and others. Give them the ball in open space. Give them a shot. You know, maybe they're a little hesitant to do that based on the experience of the quarterback, but it might be worth it.
2nd and 1 at the 19. Stauffenberger hands it off from right to left. Stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Lila Robertson got the give, just her 5th carry of the season, and that goes nowhere. Olivia Bowden is in the backfield. Now 3rd down and about 5 or 6 to go after that stop.
Every time we've seen jet motion, what we've seen is the pass rushers for Kenmore flying upfield to that side, really trying to eliminate the jet sweep, and that's exactly what we saw there.
3rd and 6 from the 14. Stauffenberger hunches over, calls for the snap, and bobbles it. It falls to the turf. A break for Kenmore as the Engineers of Hutch Tech and the Buffalo Public Schools will have to punt.
You know, not what you want if you're Hutch Tech. However, your defense has been playing great. What you need here is a nice punt, get yourself field position, try to work some of this clock, try to get out of this halftime without Kenmore scoring.
The sophomore Nia Rogers will punt it away for the 3rd time tonight for Kenmore in a scoreless game. 7:05 to go in the first half. Colosimo deep to receive in the middle of the field. And it's to her. And she can't handle it, right through her hands, and she puts her gloves up to her face. She wanted that one.
You know, no shame in that. That's a high punt. It's a little bit of breeze going on. That's a lot more difficult than you think it is.
6:51 to go in the first half. Scoreless in this Class A quarterfinal game. The 6-seed Hutch Tech punts it away, and the 3-seed Kenmore gets great field position. They didn't score their last time starting from the 23, a turnover on downs. This time from the Hutch Tech 36. First down and 16. It's a run on the near side for Gianna Colosimo, out of bounds on that jet sweep motion this time from Kenmore, stopped at the 34. No relation, despite the last name, Gianna Colosimo and Mia Colosimo.
Well, you know, it was really interesting on that last play. It looked like the corners on the side of where we had an overflow receivers were playing a little deeper than they were, and I'm wondering if that's down and distance related. But it's interesting to see if we'll go back to some of those bubble screens and tunnel screens that we saw earlier in the game.
Gain of just 2 on that first down. Mr. Goodbar first down, your game day headquarters on Elmwood Avenue. 2nd and 14 at the 34. In motion, Gianna Gullo goes right to left. Ferrari peeks to her right, throws over the middle of the field. The grab made by Mia Colosimo, but she is shadowed by Janelle Nation, who pulls the flag immediately just a few yards downfield.
And I'm going to tell you, if she doesn't make that flag pull, that ball is going to go a long way downfield. We had a lot of flow going to the left, had one receiver coming back to the right, hit her right in stride. Flag pull had to be perfect. If it wasn't, we're looking at 10, 15, 20 more yards.
Mia Colosimo electrifying. We mentioned at the top of the show, 3 touchdowns in the sectional championship rematch against Orchard Park a few weeks ago. It's cliche, but it seems like this is a big third down here.
Well, it is a big third down. Nobody's scored yet. You have an opportunity. You're pushing the ball into your own end. You're going to have 2 shots at this because I highly doubt you're punting from here. So you want to get at least half of it here on third down. Give yourself a makeable 4th down situation.
At the 30, 10 yards to gain. Ferrari takes the snap, has time, feathers it deep, and it's picked off at the 10. Hutch Tech returning it with Tyrell Cox, and she breaks free across midfield. Stopped just before it. The second interception of the night for Ty Roel Cox of Hutch Tech.
You know, it was a nice high, deep ball. The receiver's feet got caught up with the defensive back. She fell down, left Cox wide open for the interception, caught the ball, had an excellent return. She probably got 20, 25 yards on that. Really set up Hutch Tech here in great position. Have to get 2 or 3 yards for a first down. Let's see what they do. The last offensive possession was not their best. See if they can recover from that. Really like to see them get back to a ground game or a short passing game, even though they're in great field position to throw the ball deep.
6 interceptions on the season now for the senior from Hutch Tech, Roel Cox. She had plenty of time, like a center fielder, to get under that and make the play.
Yeah, and she really made a nice play, and the return afterwards was fabulous.
At their own 37, with under 5 minutes to go in the first half, scoreless, Hutch Tech begins their drive, 1st and 3. Stauffenberger fakes the give, throws it, bullet over the middle of the field, caught at the 30 by Whedon. She gets across the 30 just barely before her flag is pulled. It's a first down for Hutch Tech.
Always a good idea. Find number 2, throw her the ball.
Stauffenberger, for a freshman in her 2nd career start, she's made some great plays already.
She looks good. She looks like she's overcoming possibly some early jitters. She's really looking composed in the pocket. I'd like to see her run a little bit more. She's a good runner.
First down and 9 at the 29 of Kenmore. Hutch Tech working right to left in this second quarter. 4:15 to go. Each team with 2 timeouts still in their pocket. The snap, and there are some of those jitters. A second time already that we've seen Stauffenberger just bobble it in her hands, and it'll lose about 5 yards for Hutch Tech.
You know, sometimes what you'll see with younger quarterbacks, they know a pass is coming. They know there's a route combination. They're so overexcited to get it off, and they take their eyes off the ball when the snap is coming. It's one of the most simple things. You know, we don't have an under-the-center snap like we do sometime in the men game. We have to be at least 3 yards back for our snaps. So sometimes you'll see that. Unfortunate, but we'll see what they do in the next play.
2nd and 14 now from the 34. Stauffenberger watches that one into her mitts, stands and throws over the middle at the line of scrimmage. It's caught. Immediately, Nia Rogers has her flag pulled from behind.
You know, and that could have been a big sack, but the blocking there was really good from Hutch Tech. They left 2 blockers back. They really did a great job on the Kenmore pass rusher, giving Stauffenberger some time. Give him 3rd and long here, see what they can do.
3rd down and 13. Under 3 minutes to go now in the first half. Whedon in motion, left to right, fake of the give. Stauffenberger throws over the head of Whedon. It's deeper downfield, and it's caught by Sectional Carrier. At the 24, she has her flag pulled to set up 4th and short.
You know, interesting for Buffalo right here. We're going to see what they do, see if they try to draw Kenmore offside. So maybe you try to draw Kenmore offsides, use a timeout if it doesn't work, set up a 4th down play that you really like. You have a huge opportunity right here to get yourself a 1st down inside the red zone.
First time we've seen Jada Sectional Carrier make a grab. The junior from McKinley. That was another terrific pass from Stauffenberger. Now 4th and 4 at the 24. The freshman quarterback takes the snap high, handles it, rolls to her right, throws over the middle. It's caught at the 18.
What a
first down.
Fantastic catch. Holy cow, are you kidding me? What a catch.
Janelle Nation lays out to make the play. 1st and goal.
Talk about a clutch play by the quarterback, clutch play by the receiver. They're in the red zone here. Kenmore's got their backs up against the wall here with the 2-minute warning.
They'll take a brief timeout, letting people know on both sidelines the clock will stop on incomplete passes and out-of-bounds plays. 2 minutes to go in a scoreless first half. What a ball game from Sparky Adams Field, and a great crowd on hand to boot. Glad to have you with us on Friday Night Lights on Buffalo Toronto Public Media. 1st and goal at the 19 for Hutch Tech and the Buffalo Public Schools, working right to left. Stauffenberger takes the snap, hands it off, and, well, it just falls as it was mishandled between Stauffenberger and Whedon.
Unfortunate there again. You know, as a coach, that's going to drive you nuts. That's one of those plays that needs to be made, even if you're only going to get it 2 or 3 yards out of that play. What you can't have is going backwards. Going backwards absolutely shoots yourself in the foot, and you can't have it. So that's a big break for Kenmore right there.
It's funny, the first time that happened, I'm thinking, oh, it's not that big of a deal. As it becomes a pattern, it becomes a negative.
Every time you're getting yourself off par, it gets really hard to get 1st downs, get yardage.
Oh, you've seen my golf game. Double bogey. Yeah, mark me down for a triple.
Well, that play was a double bogey.
Here's 2nd and 24, and it's incomplete over the middle of the field. Oh, Stauffenberger tried to take off and run. She ends up dropping the ball at the 22, and now a timeout is called with 1:17 to go in this first half. Kenmore wants to talk it over defensively ahead of 3rd and goal.
Now, this is a really smart timeout here by Kenmore, because if you were Coach Dan Hannon, you're thinking they're going to try to get at least half of it on this first play, and then they got to take a shot for the end zone. You don't want any cheap touchdowns if you're Kenmore. No trickeration, no silly things. Now, they have Avery Johnson over the top as a safety for Kenmore, and Coach Dan Hannon refers to her as one of the smartest players that he's ever coached, despite the fact that she's only a freshman. She's done a great job all season of not allowing cheapies over the top of her, but you really probably want to drop at least 3 safeties back here for the next 2 plays. Make sure you're in position and knock away any balls that are going to have a shot at the end zone. Give yourself a chance to get the ball back and at least run out the clock before the half, going to halftime 0-0.
And from Hutch Tech's perspective?
If I'm Hutch Tech, I want to get half of it on the first play. I have a rookie quarterback. I want to get half of it. So I want to get something underneath, maybe to one of my linemen in a little screen. Then I can take a shot at the end zone, and if it gets intercepted, so be it.
3rd and goal at the 24. That analysis from Keith Wink, terrific. 1:17 to go in the half. No score. 6 seed Hutch Tech. In the gun, Stauffenberger. Over the middle, it's caught! Breaking free! Touchdown! Jada Sectional Carrier!
That was a slant right there on the left side. She came in, got just behind the linebackers, in front of the safeties, caught the ball, had a running lane. I'm going to tell you what, that throw by Stauffenberger was a dot. It was right on line, perfect throw, made the catch, scored. We'll see if they go for 1 or 2 here.
A 22-yard touchdown pass. Aubrey Stauffenberger, the freshman from Da Vinci, connects with Jada Sectional Carrier, the junior from McKinley, and BPS is on the board first with 1:10 to go in the half.
Now, these conversions are so important. So many games are won and lost by 1 or 2 points. So we'll see what Hutch Tech does here.
Stauffenberger in the gun. Takes the snap, rolls to her right, throws over the middle. It is incomplete. Broken up by Gianna Gullo, intended for Ty Rowell Cox. A 6-0 lead for Hutch Tech. The Engineers, who have a 4-6-1 record, it's all wiped away come playoff time, right, Keith?
It sure is. Now, it's going to be interesting here if you're Kenmore. So you have 2 timeouts left. You have an NFL clock under 2 minutes, so the ball's going to stop on first downs. It's going to stop when the ball goes out of bounds. It's going to stop on incompletions. Now, you haven't had a lot of success moving the ball. What do you want to do here? Do you want to take some shots? Do you want to try to run the ball, see if you get some first downs, see if you get some chunk yardage, and see if you can't get yourself in scoring position? But what you do not want to do is get yourself a turnover and give Buffalo the ball in scoring position for themselves.
They got 1:10 to work with, first down and 6. Ferrari incomplete, rolling to her left, through that way for Gullo. It'll stop the clock with 1:06 to go. From their own 14, Kenmore hasn't been able to convert with great field position so far this half. Perhaps with a little more field behind the Buffalo defense is better for Ferrari and company.
Could be. Now, this is going to be interesting. If they do not get a first down on this play, is Hutch Tech going to use a timeout and try to force a punt when they eventually get to fourth down, get the ball back themselves? We'll see.
Ferrari in the gun. Rolls to her right, takes a peek to the sideline, throws that way at the near 20. It's incomplete. She was trying to connect with the junior Mena Cortez, and it falls to the turf. 3rd down and 6 for Kenmore.
Yeah, if you're Coach Dishner here for Hutch Tech, if there's not a first down here, call your timeout, set yourself up in a good punt return. If you have a little trickeration on your side, go ahead and use it. Now is the time. You're in sectionals, little reverse, little throwback. Perfect time for it.
There's a moxie that's developing on the far sideline from the Buffalo Public Schools and the Hutch Tech Engineers. 3rd and 6 for Kenmore at their own 14. Ferrari looks near side, caught at the numbers. Cortez, the junior, gets past the 20 by a yard. First down, Kenmore. That was big.
Yeah, that was not an exciting play there, but what that did, it kept Hutch Tech from getting the ball back. And if you're Kenmore at nothing else, you could be able to run this clock out if you want to.
52 seconds to go in the half. 6-0 Hutch Tech after the score on their last possession. Kenmore looks to respond. This, their 6th drive of the half. Ferrari airs it out, and it's caught in stride. Way downfield goes Mia Colosimo. She steps out of bounds at the 15 of Hutch Tech. A huge play through the air for the Devil Dogs.
Left-handed Ferrari rolling to her right, sets herself up, makes a deep throw, connects on it. Holy cow, that almost went for a touchdown. Sets up Kenmore in position how they're going to have 4 shots at the end zone. They have 2 timeouts left. They have a great opportunity to get themselves tied or a lead here at halftime.
If it wasn't Rowell Cox chasing her, any other team, that's probably a touchdown.
100%. 100%.
36 seconds to go. Now Kenmore's in business. 1st and goal at the 17. Ferrari in the gun. In motion is Gullo. Ferrari rolls to her right. Takes a shot at the end zone right side. It's incomplete.
I'm really impressed by Ferrari, how she, as a lefty, rolls to her right and really throws a nice ball. That is hard to do, and she does a great job. She works so hard in the offseason, works with a private quarterbacks coach, spends the time. It pays off. She was a running back last year and really made the conversion to quarterback and has been super successful at it.
Just a sophomore, to see that development so early on in a player's career, that's got to excite college coaches like yourself.
It sure does. You know, she's a gamer. You know, you see kids like that, like Shea Whedon from Hutch Tech, like Mia Colosimo. They're players who are just gamers. Every time they go out to the field, great things can happen.
32 seconds to go. Kenmore has time and a timeout to use. Down 6-0. 2nd and goal at the 17. Handoff. Gianna Colosimo goes west to east and runs right into Shea Whedon. Our spotlight player ends that play out of bounds. That will stop the clock with 25 seconds left.
Yep, so here we're going to have about a 3rd and 15. There's 24 seconds left on the clock. You're going to have a couple shots at the end zone. You've had a little bit of success with the deep ball, and Ferrari can certainly throw the deep ball. You have receivers who can catch the deep ball. So they're going to have to take a shot or two here. You also wonder if now's the time, if you have something up your sleeve that might cause a little mismatch, that now might be the time to use it.
This is Friday Night Lights presented by Villa Maria College. 3rd down and 15 for Kenmore, working left to right as the first half winds down. The sophomore Ferrari down 6-0, takes the snap, looks to her right, throws that way.
There it
Caught
is.
by Mia.
Touchdown.
She takes the pass, and it's incomplete. Over the head of Gianna Gullo. It tipped off her fingertips on the near corner of the end zone. Incomplete, sets up 4th down.
You know, you save plays like that for moments like that, and when they're so close to connecting and they don't work, they're just absolutely heartbreaking. You know, it's a perfect time. What a great call by Coach Hannon. You saw the double pass there, the first lateral, and then the pass just off the fingertips. Really unfortunate, but you can't let it get you down. You still have 4th down. You have an opportunity now to convert.
4th down and 15. And your reaction, valid. That should have been a touchdown for Mia Colosimo, but it instead goes incomplete. Her first passing attempt of the season. Why is that such a great time for that play call?
Well, just you've got a lot of momentum on your side, and I don't know why it is, but in the way the football gods works, it seems like when you have a lot of momentum on your side, all those little sneaky plays that you've been building up all year for big moments, when you need a touchdown, the ones you can't overuse, that's the time to use them. And they did. Coach Hannon pulled it out. Everything was well executed except the final catch. Really unfortunate for Kenmore. The problem is you run a play like that, you can't run it again, right? You can't run it again, maybe the whole season, because now it's on tape. Everybody's seen it. So very unfortunate for Kenmore, but it was a great time out there by Coach Hannon. His team's probably feeling a little bit down in the dumps. He's building them up, getting them ready for another great play he's got and see what they can do. Now, if you're Hutch Tech, you got to have people back at the goal line ready to attack the ball.
9 seconds to go in the half. 4th and goal. This is it for Kenmore before the break, down 6-0. Ferrari takes the snap. Looks to her right. The lefty throws to the end zone. Tipped and incomplete. Broken up by Hamilton of Hutch Tech.
I think about 7 different players got their hands on that ball. That was tipped. Almost caught by Colosimo. Really, really nice play. I think they would have been just short of the goal line anyway. So now Hutch Tech has 13 seconds left, likely for them to just take a knee or run out the clock.
At Sparky Adams Field, the sun continues to set behind the Lou Reuter press box. The lights are on, and they'll only shine brighter as this game rolls on. 13 seconds to go in the first half, 6-0. Hutch Tech and the Buffalo Public Schools combined have the lead and the football. And they'll take a timeout before the final play of the half. Well, now I think Laura Dishner may have showed her hand here. They might try something.
Well, this would be really interesting and very aggressive if that's what they want to do back in their own end with 13 seconds left and now only 1 timeout left. So it's going to be really interesting what they decide to do, but maybe she just wants to make sure, let's keep our hands on the ball, run the ball, burn this clock out, get to halftime up 6-0. That would be a wise course of action.
Laura Dishner in her second year with the program, our Denny's head coach. Denny's, America's Diner, is always open. Friday Night Lights is presented by Villa Maria College, Western New York's home for innovative programs and unrivaled support. Friday Night Lights is supported by our members and by Dick's House of Sport. Sport happens here, now open on Ridgely Road in Amherst, and Brighton Liquor and Wine, 930 Brighton Road, right here in Tonawanda. 6-0 the lead for Hutch Tech. Final play, perhaps, of this first half. 13 seconds on the clock. The freshman quarterback, Aubrey Stauffenberger, the difference so far with her 1 passing touchdown to Satchel Carrier. She hands it off for Whedon, who is stopped behind the line of scrimmage by Avery Johnson. The clock runs down at 2-1-0. The first half comes to an end the 6th seed Hutch Tech Engineers with a 6-0 lead over the defending sectional finalists, Kenmore, the 3 seed. 6-0 after 2 quarters. We'll break it down on the SEI Halftime Show after this on BTPM's Friday Night Lights.
Visit Villa Maria College and discover what it means to be a Viking. Come see the energy, teamwork, and pride that makes the Villa Vikings unstoppable. Schedule your tour at visit.villa.edu.
Listen to Buffalo Toronto Public Media The Bridge wherever you are. Search for the BTPM Listen app on all your devices.
The learning and engagement projects from Buffalo Toronto Public Media impact our community by entertaining and informing.
Families are engaged, adults, grandparents.
They reach students and children.
There's something there for everybody.
They provide educators with material that is up to date, that is informative, and that really ignites curiosity in our students that is so crucial to creating lifelong learners.
Or if it's just a really well done piece of content.
Exactly.
They're exciting, they're engaging, and they are so educational.
Wow!
But the thing that is so great is their accessibility. You can have a phone, a desktop computer,
Or you find it on your tablet or you find it in television.
and there they are.
Helping families to do what they want to do for their children and for their future here in Western New York. It makes our community a better and stronger place because of it.
We've always believed that sport has the power to change lives. It's happened here for decades. Community happens here. Sport happens here. The all-new Dick's House of Sport, a new destination for sport.
Right here in Amherst.
BTPM Plus.
Go on.
It's an evolution of Buffalo Toronto Public Media,
You have to take risks to get reward.
bringing you the best of PBS and the shows everyone's talking about,
Oh my gosh, there they are.
where you can watch your favorite programs live,
Something for everyone, if you catch my drift.
dig into collections curated just for you. And when you stream BTPM Plus, you support local storytelling.
Knowledge is power.
BTPM Plus. Start watching today.
Chef's Italian Restaurant, 291 Seneca Street in downtown Buffalo, is where family and friends have been meeting to eat for over 100 years. Home of the world-famous spaghetti parm. Reservations at 716-856-9187. Brighton Wine and Liquor, located at 930 Brighton Road in Tonawanda, features wines from all over the world and expert curators who can help you select the right wine or spirit for your occasion. Brighton Wine and Liquor, 930 Brighton Road in Tonawanda. Welcome to the SEI Halftime Show on BTPM Create YouTube and BTPM NPR. Thanks for being with us. Jack Kreuzer, Keith Wing with you on Friday Night Lights. We've got a great game from Sparky Adams Field. 6-0. The Buffalo Public Schools, most notably Hutch Tech with the largest enrollment. They'll get their name on it this season at least. With a 6-0 lead, what stood out to you so far from the Engineers?
You know, the story of the game to me is the Hutch Tech defense. They have really been incredible. They've given fits to the Kenmore offense. You know, anytime Kenmore has had opportunities, Hutch Tech has really shut it down. They've been swarming. They just look fast. Hutch Tech looks really, really fast in this game. Anytime Kenmore's been trying the bubble screens or some of the underneath mesh routes, they're all over it.
It should be an interesting third quarter, but we've got a lot to dissect from that first half. But before we get to more breakdowns, let's get to the FNL Cup. BTPM is proud to introduce a new award for the most outstanding flag football player in Section 6 each year. The Villa Maria College-sponsored Friday Night Lights Cup. Each week, 5 players are nominated for the Villa Maria College FNL Cup based on their performance on the field. After the sectional championships, 10 finalists will be invited to a banquet dinner provided by Chef's Restaurant at the BTPM studio, where we'll announce the winner of the 2026 Flag Football Villa Maria College FNL Cup. The winners from last week, or at least the nominees from last week: Orchard Park senior quarterback Maggie Gosella, Depew senior quarterback Olivia Lezot, Lucy Martis, the wide receiver defensive back freshman from Williamsville East, from Iroquois, the senior wide receiver DB Ava Spanitz, and from Sweet Home, 7th grader Amelia Thompson, the quarterback, with a big performance in Week 4. Why do you think there's so many young players playing so well in girls flag football in this area?
You know, it's just a game that's a lot of fun. And so you're having a lot of athletes from some of the best athletes from all the different spring sports gravitate over to flag, and I really believe that's what's happening. There's a huge momentum going forward for flag football right now. You're seeing players play it at the travel level, players play it at the high school level, and some of these fantastic athletes are just really getting into flag, and they're making it such a much more dynamic experience.
Well, we've had a dynamic game so far, and hopefully it continues in the second half. Stick with us. We'll be back with more on the SEI Halftime Show. SEI. More information at SEIC.com. 6-0 Hutch Tech with the lead over Kenmore through 2 quarters. We'll be back after this.
Hi, I'm Ken Burns. For the last 9 years, I, along with my co-directors Sarah Botstein and David Schmidt, have been working on a 6-part, 12-hour series on the American Revolution. Throughout my professional life, PBS has been a home for history, storytelling free from commercial influence, and media motivated solely by the mission to educate, inform, and inspire. That's what you'll find on Buffalo Toronto Public Media. You'll also find our newest film, The American Revolution. Experience it on the free PBS app or right here on Buffalo Toronto Public Media. Learn more at btpm.org. Thank you.
Stream the series now on the PBS app. BTPM Plus.
Go on.
It's an evolution of Buffalo Toronto Public Media.
You have to take risks to get reward.
Bringing you the best of PBS and the shows everyone's talking about.
Oh my gosh, there they are.
Where you can watch your favorite programs live.
Something for everyone, if you catch my drift.
Dig into collections curated just for you. And when you stream BTPM Plus, you support local storytelling.
Knowledge is power.
BTPM Plus. Start watching today.
We've always believed that sport has the power to change lives. It's happened here for decades. Community happens here. Sport happens here. The all-new Dick's House of Sport, a new destination for sport.
Right here in Amherst.
Chef's Italian Restaurant, 291 Seneca Street in downtown Buffalo, is where family and friends have been meeting to eat for over 100 years. Home of the world-famous spaghetti parm. Reservations at 716-856-9187. Support for Friday Night Lights comes from our members and from your local Denny's. America's Diner is always open. Denny's salutes Section 6 student athletes, serving you with 18 locations throughout the region. Welcome back to the SEI Halftime Show. This week's Across-Campus Player of the Week from Kenmore is hockey, lacrosse, and unified basketball player Connor Whitney. The junior at Kenmore West has already earned 8 varsity letters. In addition to being a key player and positive influence on his teams, Connor is highly involved in his community. He recently led a group of students in preparing lunch for more than 50 vendors during Kenmore West's job fair. Connor consistently goes above and beyond in everything that he does, demonstrating excellence and school spirit. And this week's Denny's Scholar Athlete of the Week. Denny's, America's Diner, is always open. From Kenmore East High School, the senior wide receiver defensive back Gianna Gullo, a 4-sport varsity athlete who has earned an impressive 13 varsity letters throughout her high school career. Gianna has excelled academically with a GPA of 98.7 and ranks in the top 10% of her graduating class. In the fall, she plans to attend the University at Buffalo to study nuclear medicine.
I don't even know what that is. I've never heard of nuclear medicine, but it sounds like something you need to have a 98.7 to be able to do.
Certainly guys like you and I are not studying that.
No, we study footballs and flagpoles, but good for Gianna Gullo. She's going to go far.
Our Denny's Scholar Athlete, Gianna Gullo. Well, it's 6-0 Hutch Tech after one half of play. What do you think that Kenmore needs to do more of in the second half to try to get on the board?
So Ferrari is your best ball carrier. And though Hutch Tech has done a great job of trying to contain her, you really got to get her in space and get her carrying the football. You've had some unfortunate things happen. We've tried throwing the ball, but you got this dynamic quarterback. Have her run the ball, set some things up for her, some misdirections, some fake handoffs, have her keep the ball. I think that's your best bet. In order to do that, you're going to have to block a little bit better up front. You're going to have to run some routes to keep and draw defensive backs away from her.
This is Friday Night Lights on BTPM Create, Spectrum Channel 1275, on BTPM YouTube and BTPM NPR, WBFO and WBFO HD1 Buffalo, WUBJ Jamestown, and WOLN Olean, a service of Buffalo Toronto Public Media Local Sports. Jack Kreuzer, along with Keith Wing, head coach at Villa Maria College and former Williamsville South head coach for flag football, mind you, as well. He's been in games just like this. What do you think those conversations were like at halftime?
So if you are Hutch Tech, you're just keeping your kids excited, telling them how proud you are of them. Just keep all gas, no brakes the rest of the way. And if you're Kenmore, keep your chin up. Everything's going to be fine. You've been playing great all season. Just do what you do, execute, think about the small things, catching the ball, making great blocks, and everything's just going to be fine.
The Devil Dogs begin the second half with possession, working left to right. The sophomore quarterback, Samantha Ferreri, runs on the first play, dodges one flag puller, and keeps on her feet with both flags to the 30. Finally, a flag is grabbed by Whedon just before the 30-yard line. It's a first down for Kenmore.
That's what you need to do if you're Kenmore. You got a dynamic player like this. Have her carry the ball.
I didn't know you snuck down to the locker room between quarters there. That's exactly what you said, is Ferreri's legs will earn them better yardage.
Hey, you know, I think if you're Coach Hannon, that's an easy choice, right? You have this dynamic player. Get her in space. Have her carry the ball. You got to do some different things with it. I like having some motion. I like having some fakes. I would prefer they add another blocker, though, to help her out when Hutch Tech's having two pass rushers. Makes it a little tricky for her.
1st and 13 for Kenmore at their own 27. Handoff, near side, Gianna Colosimo gets low across the 30-yard line to the 35. She either steps out or has the flag pulled. It looks like she steps out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Getting closer to the midfield stripe, it's 2nd and 5.
You know, Colosimo all year has been a reliable ball carrier. She really complements very well. She is kind of the bell cow in the backfield. They give her the ball a lot. She had over 300 yards this year. Really reliable. Sets them up in a second down and manageable. Really good position to be in your Kenmore if you're in your first possession here.
And she's not the juke, your flags away kind of player. She's right at you, and it's probably a lot depending on the blocking.
It
plays
is
like that.
It is, and I say she goes hard. She goes hard. If somebody's going full speed, it's hard to pull that flag.
2nd and 5. Fake of the give to Colosimo. It's a keeper for Ferreri. Across midfield, her flag is plucked. Tyroel Cox makes the stop. It depends on the spot whether this is a first. They say it is. The crew led by Ken Harris move the chains and the marker. It's a first down, second one this drive for Kenmore.
So she reached that ball out, got it past the 40-yard line. That's a good place to be. Sets up a tough 1st and 20 here, but you've been moving the ball well, using some jet sweep, using some quarterback run. We'll see what they continue to do.
The first 4 drives of this game, Kenmore had 1 Mr. Goodbar first down. Their last 2 drives, they've already accounted for 2 first downs. Showing that their offense is starting to figure it out a little bit against this really stout Hutch Tech defense. 1st and 20, swing pass near side, caught by Mia Colosimo. She ducks around one defender and steps out of bounds across midfield and at the 34-yard line of the BPS Engineers.
Mia Colosimo had a really nice quarter hip turn there, which she probably would have gained about 1 yard if she hadn't done it. Instead, it got her 5 yards, so really nice move.
The quarter hip turn?
Yeah, so there's 3 popular moves in flag to avoid a flagpole. There's the quarter hip turn where you're shuffling your hips about 90 degrees. You have the full spin, and then you have the dip. The dip is not something you see a lot in this area. You'll see a lot in the south, but it's a really impressive move. When
just getting low?
Getting low, but still going full speed. You'll see that in Olympic-level action. It is an incredibly tough move to make. I haven't seen it in Section 6 since Alana Bashore did it a lot. Really a tough thing to do.
Under 9 minutes to go in this third quarter. Kenmore down 6-0. Driving. Ferreri, quick pass over the middle, caught by Mia Colosimo, has her flag plucked. Right as she makes the catch, Janelle Nation makes the stop. Quick pass to Mia Colosimo. You can tell Kenmore is getting a little more momentum here, not necessarily on the scoreboard, but in their posture. They look a little more comfortable coming out of halftime.
Yeah, they have a lot of swagger. They have some confidence. They should. They're a great team. Buffalo, Hutch Tech's been playing great, and they're in a tough down and distance right here, but you want to make sure you get yourselves a manageable 4th down.
3rd down and 12 at the 32 on the offensive side of midfield. Working left to right. Ferreri, the sophomore quarterback, 3 yards back with a lot of motion pre-snap from Gullo. She swings to her right and receives the pass out of the backfield. She gets a block from Mia Colosimo, charges through 2 defenders. Her flag is yanked away by Ramaya Avent. after a gain of a couple. A lot of work from our scholar athlete, Gianna Gullo.
I think she ran about 65 yards there to get a 4-yard carry, but that was a lateral play. Got the rushing yards on that. She really moved a lot of window dressing there. Sometimes when you see plays like that, I always think they're setting something else up, right? So maybe they go back the other direction with a drag route from one of their interior linemen after something like that. Now that the defensive players have seen that. 4th
down and 6 for Kenmore. They failed to score on a 4th and goal play just before halftime. It kept the game 6-0 for Hutch Tech. 4th and 6 at the 26.
Interesting how Kenmore likes to come out in these 5-receiver looks. You don't see that a lot.
Ferreri throws behind the 5-receiver set. It's Mia Colosimo, stopped behind the line to gain. Nation makes the play again for Hutch Tech, who turns over the football.
It goes to show you how important down and distance is early in a possession. So they started that at 1st and 20. They gained 18 yards, which is fantastic, and in most circumstances is going to get you a first down. But in that situation, they had to get 20, just fell short.
Shows you a big difference from the tackle football we watch in the fall. 1st and 10. This makes 10 yards look like nothing.
But when I first came to the flag game, every time I'd get 1st and 20, oh, geez, here we go. You know, it's tricky, it's tough, and that's why you can't have mistakes. They didn't even have any mistakes. They made 4 good plays, and unfortunately just fell up short.
1st down and 18 for the Hutch Tech Engineers and the 10 Buffalo Public Schools combined to make up this program that is just the 6th seed. Throw over the middle from Stauffenberger. Coming back to the football, Roel Cox makes the play, and she stays on her feet with both flags to the 30. She goes west to east, and as her flag yanked away at the last second from Gullo before she took off downfield.
Had some really nifty moves after the catch there.
Ty Roel Cox, 2 interceptions defensively in the first half. Now getting a little love on the offensive side of the ball, and she's earned it. $6-0 the lead for the 6th seed, who won just 4 games all regular season. For these 2 teams that joined flag football a year ago, they meet for the first time in the postseason tonight. Kenmore was in the sectional final a year ago. 6 minutes to go in the 3rd. 2nd and 10. Stauffenberger hands it off. Whedon near side, blows past one defender, spins across the 40, and has the first down.
Whedon has speed unlike many other players have, so simple plays like that can go a long way. You get one missed flagpole, and she can turn a 2-yard carry into a 12-yard carry. That was a fantastic play.
The senior from Math Science Technical High School in Buffalo, Shea Whedon, our spotlight player tonight. First down and 19, just beyond midfield at the 39 of Kenmore. Stauffenberger stands in the pocket, unsure what to do. Now takes off, feeling the pressure, and she gets a couple yards downfield before running into Gianna Colosimo. There was the freshman quarterback a little uncertain there to bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, I think somebody went the wrong way, and I don't think it was her. And so she did a nice job making something out of nothing, got a couple yards. Hey, stay ahead of par. Stay ahead of par. Nice job.
Sometimes alluding this to golf a little bit, you got to take your medicine. Just get it back into the fairway, and to her credit, that's what the freshman Stauffenberger did.
Exactly. Give yourself a makeable shot, right, Jack?
That's it. Not that we're going to make it, but we're going to think we can. 2nd down and 16 at 34. Motion from right to left, across the middle of the field. Stauffenberger delivers a strike to Roel Cox, who ducks around Gianna Colosimo once. But the senior DB does pull the flag. It's a minimal gain of just a couple. Now 3rd and long.
Roel Cox is having a game. She has showed up today on defense, on offense. She's all over the place. What a day for her so far.
3rd and 14 from the Kenmore 34. This a big drive for the Devil Dog defense to set the tone this second half. The freshman Stauffenberger in her 2nd career start after the starter got hurt. She's been terrific. Stands in. Airs it out right side to the sideline. Knocked down The Scholar athlete Gianna Gullo makes the play in the defensive backfield.
Looked like that ball floated a little bit on Stauffenberger. I don't think that's how she intended to throw it. Jump ball, got knocked away. Nice play by the defense.
Gianna Gullo, I'm shocked she still has breath after all the homework she's had to do, all the clubs she's involved in, and now on the football field, all the running she's done. What a terrific athlete the senior from Kenmore is.
It looked like a play a nuclear medicine major would make.
Just 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. Things are flying by at Sparky Adams Field. 4th and 14. Stauffenberger, this one, a bullet downfield, picked off! Avery Johnson snags it! The freshman the other way for Kenmore. Stop before midfield. Oh, momentum is wearing blue and gold with under 3 minutes to go in the third.
That is her 8th interception of the year, and that is unbelievable. She is just such a ball hawk, and to be such a young player, always in the right position, made a great interception, gave her team some really nice field position here. Let's see if Kenmore can capitalize.
2:48 to go in this third quarter. Kenmore gets the ball at their own 36. Ferrari takes the snap with that unbalanced formation. Pump fakes to her right, throws over the middle, incomplete. Some contact 5 yards downfield. No penalty marker thrown.
You know what, that was interesting. They were going against the grain there. They were going against their multiple receiver look. And that's one of the first times, if not the first time, I've noticed Kenmore have 3 blockers ready. And so that's telling me that they're going to do that a little bit more often, give Ferrari some backdoor throws and give her some runs.
You're starting to feel the energy from the crowd. It's a playoff game in the Section 6 Class A quarterfinal. Winner advances to the semis to take on the 7-seed West Seneca. And now, late after discussion, Ken Harris, Dave Michael, and Edwin Streety agree there was an interference call downfield, and that will be against the BPS defense. Kenmore gets the first down.
You know, that's a tough call, but it was the right call. They did a good job there. Defender got in the way of the pass, knocked her down, unable to make the catch. Automatic first down. Here we go.
Third first down of the half for Kenmore. They had 3 all first half. Ferrari on 1st and 15. Swing pass right side. Caught by Gullo. She scoops her way past the 30. Tries to sneak away from Whedon, but Shea Whedon is not fooled. 100 flag pulls on the season coming into tonight, and she gets another second down and a medium distance, 2nd and 8 coming up for Kenmore. Officially 2nd and 7 at the 27. For Kenmore, down 6-0. The 3-seeded Devil Dogs lost just 3 games all season. Ferrari looks to her right, throws that way behind the line of scrimmage. Mia Colosimo makes the grab, then darts up the sideline, reaches for the first down. She's a yard shy. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Hey, but no problem if you're Kenmore. You like 3rd and 1 here. You got 2 shots that you feel confident with your offense that you're going to be able to get it. Then hopefully you can get a chunk inside of the red zone here. So you're starting off somewhere like 1st and 15, 1st and 12, something like that, heading into the end zone with a chance to tie this game or take the lead if you can convert on the conversion.
They haven't been able to score yet, and they've had some great looks, including a 4th and goal attempt before the half. Under a minute to go in the third quarter, 3rd and 1 at the 21. Ferrari takes it herself, beats one defender, and then has her flag pulled after she gets the 19-yard line. It's a first down for Kenmore. Though credit the flag pull to Zanaya Hamilton, the sophomore from Bennett High School on this Hutch Tech team, may have just saved a touchdown. It's 1st and goal for Kenmore at the 19.
Goes without saying, a really important possession here for Kenmore. They're down to about their final quarter here to see if they can even this thing up.
Final 20 seconds of the third. 1st and goal at the 19. Ferrari throws a strike downfield, incomplete. She was looking for Mia Colosimo. And perhaps lucky that hit the turf so quickly. Jada Satchel Carrier was sneaking over from the safety position and was ready to make a play. Nonetheless, 2nd and goal will start the 4th quarter as we've hit the end of 3. 6-0 your score in favor of Hutch Tech. Brought to you by Dick's House of Sport. We go to the final quarter of the Class A quarterfinal in the Section 6 playoffs on Friday Night Lights after this.
Friday Night Lights Section 6 Girls Flag Football is on Fridays at 7 p.m. on BTPM Create, Spectrum Channel 1275, BTPM YouTube, and on BTPM NPR, FM 88.7. Presented by Villa Maria College, Western New York's home for innovative programs and unmatched support. Friday Night Lights is supported by our members and by Dick's House of Sport, the WNED Foundation, SEI, Mr. Goodbar, Denny's, Brighton Liquor, and Chef's Restaurant.
Visit Villa Maria College and discover what it means to be a Viking. Come see the energy, teamwork, and pride that makes the Villa Vikings unstoppable. Schedule your tour at visit.villa.edu.
3 quarters in the books from Sparky Adams Field. 6-0 the lead for Kenmore, or 6-0 the lead for Hutch Tech over Kenmore. The Devil Dogs have a chance at a goal-to-goal position to start the 4th. Next week, we will be live from Sweet Home High School on Saturday at 10 a.m. Have your morning breakfast with us on Friday Night Lights, a special edition, a triple header of all 3 Section 6 championships for girls flag football on BTPM's Friday Night Lights, presented by Villa Maria College. Final 12 minutes of this game to determine who advances in the playoffs. Kenmore down 6-0, faces 2nd and goal at the Hutch Tech 19. Jack Kreuzer, Keith Wing with you on Friday Night Lights. Ferrari in the gun for Kenmore. Calls in motion Gullo. She stops and goes back to her right. Swing pass near side, caught by Lucy Curry. Lucy takes off, has the 10-yard line, stays on her feet. She strides in, but her flag pulled at the 3. A touchdown-saving flagpole from Nation. Lucy Curry gives Kenmore a 3rd and goal opportunity within 10 yards. First, it'll be 3rd and goal at the 6-yard line.
This is where Ferrari is really difficult. She can really run. She can really throw. Let's see what they do.
Down 6-zip. Ferrari hands it off. Gianna Colosimo make it. Lucy Curry spinning her way to the 1. Her flag pulled just short of the goal line. Oh, some trickery from Kenmore in the backfield. Almost works out. Now they face 4th and goal with just 3 feet to gain. When these two teams met 1 month ago on April the 21st, it was a 12-0 Kenmore win despite getting stopped on the goal line from the Hutch Tech defense. Looking to learn from their mistakes in the past. Ferrari in the gun, takes the snap, takes off herself, and puts Kenmore on the board. Touchdown, Devil Dogs. We are knotted at 6 apiece early in the 4th.
You know, we talked earlier in the game about the importance of the conversions. Hutch Tech was not able to convert on theirs. Now they find themselves tied, and Kenmore has a chance to take a lead here, going for 1. You know, that play by Ferrari, she just takes off. She gets that snap. She puts her foot in the ground, and she just goes upfield. She, you know, if she only got 3 feet to go, she's really tough.
Kenmore takes advantage of the interception from the freshman Avery Johnson and ties the game at 6. Their next drive, a bunch formation for the 1-point conversion attempt. Ferrari behind everybody, takes the snap, throws to the end zone. It's picked off, and Hutch Tech will take it down the near sideline with Jasmine Hoax. The play is blown dead as the score will stand at 6-6. 10:33 to go in the 4th quarter of the Class A Section 6 quarterfinal. Kenmore has knotted it at 6.
You know, Kenmore with the opportunity there. They ran some mesh routes underneath. Jumped the ball by Hutch Tech. Really nice interception there to make the conversion no good. Now if you're Kenmore, you have a lot of momentum. Time to get a stop, get the ball back, see if you can't do it again with 10:33 here left in the fourth.
First and 6 from their own 14. Hutch Tech begins their second drive of this half with the freshman quarterback Aubrey Stauffenberger. There have been a myriad of playmakers for BPS so far today. Throw over the middle, high pass, caught in the air above the head of Ty Roel Cox. She's got the first down across the 20-yard line. At the 21, she is stopped in her tracks. The winner advances to take on the 7-seed West Seneca, who upset the 2nd-seed Jamestown earlier today. Stauffenberger in the gun. Takes the snap. Takes off. Johnson pulls the flag. Oh, Avery Johnson. Oh, check that. My apologies. Elin Freeman, the junior.
Elin Freeman with a nice play up there. She did not over-pursue the quarterback, broke down, pulled the flag for the sack.
Usually, that's number 4's spot. On this play, it is Freeman who gets the stop. 6-6 were knotted. The 3-seed Kenmore tying it up on their last drive. 9 minutes to go in the game, or at least in regulation time. Stauffenberger stands in, throws over the middle, tipped and knocked down. She was looking for Jada Satchel Carrier, broken up by the junior DB, Olivia Bowden.
Bowden's had a fantastic year. She got 42 flag pulls and 3 interceptions this year. She really attacked that underneath route, broke it up. Big play there for Kenmore.
Third down. And what's got to feel like a country mile for head coach Laura Dishner. 3rd and 20 at their own 20. Tight formation for Hutch Tech. Stauffenberger rifles it to the far sideline, well over the head of Roel Cox and incomplete to bring up 4th down, and they will punt.
Really important punt here because you want to get yourself in a position where you're keeping Kenmore as far from that end zone as possible. The punts on average for Hutch Tech have been about 20 yards. You're really hoping your punter here can really boom one and give yourself a better chance.
Plenty of conversation between the coaching staff, Jamal Kottman, Laura Dishner, with their quarterback, Aubrey Stauffenberger, our freshman starter in her 2nd career start. She's looked like a much older player at times so far tonight. This return, Gianna Gullo. She takes off inside Hutch Tech territory at the 30. She turns on the Jets and is stopped before the 20-yard line. Great field position for Kenmore.
Wow, what a return. About a 20-yard return right there. She caught that, took off, put Kenmore in excellent position. Kenmore with all the momentum right now, really doing a great job moving the football in their last possession. Let's see what they do here.
7:46 to go in the game at the 24-yard line of Hutch Tech. Kenmore starts their drive 1st and 4. When does Kenmore want to start killing the clock?
So I don't think you're in a position to do that yet. I think you just need to worry about scoring because, they've had some challenges in the past on the goal line, so you may need 2 or 3 possessions left in this game. So I wouldn't worry about that yet.
Ferreri hands it off on the jet sweep. Gianna Colosimo turns up at the far sideline. Her flag is pulled by guess who? It's Shea Whedon, who tracks her down side to side in front of the BPS bench.
Shea Whedon's all over the place today, really making some big plays for this Hutch Tech team.
What a player from MST. But they're going to ask for more out of number 2 and a couple other superstars on the Hutch Tech squad to win this game. 2nd down and 5 for Ferreri and company. Working right to left. Handoff near side at the hashes. Turn up field for Gianna Gullo. She has her flag pulled. There's the 7th grader from PS 81, Jasmine Hoax.
Seeing a lot more blockers up front being used by Kenmore, and I think that's a direct result of the difficult pass rush that Hutch Tech has given them. So they're really providing 3 blockers on a lot more plays than they did in the first half. Now you have yourself in the third manageable here. No problem if you're Kenmore. Try to get yourself a first down and as far into that red zone as possible.
Kenmore has lost just 6 games in their existence as a program. 3 last year, 3 this year. Hutch Tech has won just 5 games over their 2-year existence. 3rd down and 4 at the 24. Ferrari, 1 step, throws the swing to the near side. It is Lucy Curry who spins across the 20. Her flag is pulled right at the yard to gain.
You know, but that's a tough place to get a first down in the red zone, right?
And it is a first down.
Yeah, right on the 20. Right on the 20. So you're not heartbroken here if you're Hutch Tech. You're not heartbroken because you gave them the first down right at the 20-yard line. That's about as hard as it can get.
But now, 1st and goal for Kenmore, who trailed 6-0 at halftime. They did not score on their first possession of the half, but an interception led to a score last time out. Now Ferrari takes off across the 20 in the line of scrimmage. She has her flag plucked away by Roel Cox. What a star in the middle of that BPS defense, number 32 in white. Ty Roel Cox had 2 interceptions in the first half and a number of flag pulls that have stopped what could have been big plays for Kenmore tonight.
You know what I love most? She's having fun out there. Every time you see her, she's smiling. She's talking to her teammates. She's having a great time, and that's what it's all about.
That's how you know Laura Dishner has this group in a great mental space coming into this game as true underdogs. The Devil Dogs on the other side, the 3 seed, start to feel the pressure a bit as this game winds down. 2nd and goal, Ferrari, swing pass near side. Mia Colosimo makes the catch, and the stop from Roel Cox immediately behind the line of scrimmage. Ty Roel Cox, the senior from Hutch Tech, moves the sticks back.
She just continues to have a great game here as time ticks away, getting closer to the end of regulation.
The pressure mounting on the Devil Dogs. One team's season will come to an end tonight under the lights in Kenmore. 3rd and goal at the 20. Kenmore with the sophomore quarterback Ferrari. Rolls to her left, takes a peek. The southpaw throws it deep to the end zone. Incomplete! Through the hands of Gianna Colosimo, who was wide open in the end zone.
Very, very unfortunate play there for Kenmore. But you can't put your chin down. You got to be ready. You still have an opportunity. You have 4th down here. A lot of game ahead of you.
That's twice now that Kenmore has had a look in the end zone at a wide open target, unable to make the grab. What could have been 2 touchdowns go for naught. We remain tied at 6 with another try on this drive for Kenmore. 4th and goal at the 20. 3:35 to go in the 4th quarter. 4th and goal. Ferrari takes the snap, rolls to her left. The lefty throws a wobbly one, picked off. Roel Cox with her 3rd of the night.
Roel Cox has been all over the place. She is just having a game of games. Got herself her team the ball back. Now they have a chance. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. Can they drive the field, get themselves that go-ahead and probably game-winning score?
Ty Roel Cox, 2 first-half picks. She steals one away there. It's overall a net negative for Hutch Tech, because now they could have had the drive start at the 20. Now they're back at their own 14, but you can't help it when the ball's in the air like that.
No, and I always like when the ball's in Roel Cox's hand. You know, she's going to give you a shot there. If she breaks a tackle, she might be gone. We're looking at a 12-6 game right now.
Now Hutch Tech and the Buffalo Public Schools program has 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go the length of the field from their own 14. It is Roel Cox, and Avery Johnson makes the stop.
You know, you need to be a little bit careful here if you are Hutch Tech, because you're back at your almost 5-yard line, and we've had a few drop snaps. And so you really got to be cautious here in a tie game. So you really got to focus on the simple things. Focus on the handoffs. Focus on the snaps, because if the ball drops back there, it is down where it's dropped, and you can't have a safety.
Again, correction, Elin Freeman, the tackle for loss for Kenmore defensively. Under 3 minutes to go, tied at 6. Stauffenberger stands in. The righty throws over the middle, a weak one that's just knocked away. Couldn't tell if that was for Whedon or for Roel Cox. Kenmore almost took advantage when it falls to the turf, just a few yards downfield. Now third down for Hutch Tech, 3rd and 15 with that clock a-ticking toward the 2-minute timeout.
Yeah, Coach Hannon is likely to use a timeout, if not right after this play, then soon after the 2-minute warning. He's going to have himself, if they can get this stop, in really good field position with a chance and an NFL clock to get a score.
3rd down 15, 3rd down and 5 from their 15. Stauffenberger, left side, caught by Roel Cox through traffic. She stopped at the 15-yard line. Behind the line to gain, it'll be 4th down and 5. Decision time for Hutch Tech.
You know, if I'm Hutch Tech right here, I send our players out. We try to draw them off sides, see if we can't get a cheapie, right? A lot of hard count with no play, a lot of motion, hard count. See if you can't get what's 4th and 6, even if you get to 4th and 1, because you might go for it on 4th and 1. Then you bring your punt team out, give it a shot. Defense has been playing great. You don't mind having your defense out on the field.
Tied at 6, number 6 seed Hutch Tech will punt away to number 3 seed Kenmore. Under 2 minutes to go in the game. Rogers will punt for the Buffalo Public Schools. A rainbow boot that will be fielded by Lucy Curry to the far sideline. Number 10 takes off and gets beyond the 20-yard line. Great, and I mean G-R-E-A-T field position for Kenmore, looking for their first lead of the game with 1:46 to go.
Yeah, unfortunately for Hutch Tech, that was only a 10-yard punt, which was returned 8 yards, setting them up in excellent field position here with their timeouts, with a 1:46 and an NFL clock left to go.
Hutch Tech's offense got 1 touchdown on their penultimate drive of the first half. They haven't been able to move the sticks in this second half. First down run for the Kenmore offense. Curry gets the first down. A Mr. Goodbar first down. Your home for away games on Elmwood Avenue. 1st and goal. 1:20 to go in the game. Kenmore has yet to lead tonight.
You know, you don't have to worry about the clock if you're Kenmore because you have all the time you need, all the timeouts you need. It's about executing the plays you want to execute.
Ferrari in the gun with 3 wide to the right. Gullo in motion, heads that way. Ferrari tucks it and runs. She spins at the line of scrimmage and is stopped. Ramaya Avent with the flag pull. And a timeout will stop the clock with 58 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. The first timeout of the night from Kenmore for this half from Kenmore.
Yeah, you know, you've had some opportunities, if you're Kenmore, with some deep balls in the end zone. You've missed on a couple opportunities. Don't be afraid to go back to the well on that. You know, you have some really talented players. You have an immensely talented quarterback. Don't be afraid to give it a shot, especially if you see a 1 high safety look out of Hutch Tech. They've been trying these deep wheel routes, deep go routes on the outside. Definitely a chance to give yourself a scoring opportunity here.
Coming this fall, tackle football on BTPM's Friday Night Lights will be moving to our flagship, BTPM PBS, every Friday this fall, 2026. 2nd and goal for Kenmore. Under 1 minute to go. Ferrari, handoff. It is Gianna Colosimo to the near sideline, stopped at the 9. Whedon gets the flag pull. 3rd and goal for Kenmore. The clock keeps running. Dan Hannon's irate.
You know, I think Coach Hannon believed that she stepped out of bounds there.
Now a timeout called by Dan Hannon. This is his second. He's out of timeouts with 33 seconds to go in the game. This is BTPM's Friday Night Lights, presented by Villa Maria College, Western New York's home for innovative programs and unrivaled support. 3rd down and 8, 3rd and goal for Kenmore coming up this next play. If you're defensively Hutch Tech, what are you preparing for?
Well, you know, I have to make sure I'm covering Colosimo. She's done a great job of getting herself open, but really, Kenmore's probably going to roll out Ferrari, try to give her an option runner pass. She's one of the most dynamic players in the section. You really got to have 2 players up front trying to contain her. They've done a great job with it so far.
3rd and goal. Ferrari, the sophomore. 8 yards away from the end zone. Tied at 6, a minute to go in the 4th. Ferrari takes off, near side, reaches for the pylon. Her flag is pulled on the diving effort from Jasmine Hoax, the 7th grader with maybe the most important flag pull yet, setting up 4th down and goal. 28 seconds to go.
You know, I think you got to keep the ball in Ferrari's hands here. Keep her rolling out. Give her a chance to run her past. The one thing I didn't love about that last place, it was definitely run right away. She tucked the ball away. If she has that ball in her hands like she could throw, she can keep the defense on their toes with pump fakes and things like that where she can get downfield. Something she'll learn as she continues to progress as a quarterback. But here we go. This is it.
4th and goal for Kenmore, tied at 6. The 3-seeded Devil Dogs look to advance to the semifinal. Samantha Ferrari in shotgun. Takes the snap, runs to her right, up the middle, reaches, and the flag is pulled. Tyrell Cox with another play tonight.
Wow, I'm going to tell you what, Tyrell Cox has had a game and a half. Now, it's not over. They're back on their own 2-yard line, and you have to take a snap at 3 yards. And so they're going to have at least one play here, and they need to make sure they execute.
24 seconds to go. Hutch Tech, the 6th seed with 4 wins all season, gets another goal line stop on Kenmore.
If you're Hutch Tech here, take the snap, secure it, get yourself up. Even if you lose a yard or a half yard, no big deal, but get yourself into overtime.
Inside their own 5-yard line at the 2. 1st and 18. Standing in her own end zone. Stauffenberger tucks it and runs. The freshman has her flag pulled at the line of scrimmage by Curry. The clock will tick down, under 20 seconds to go in regulation. Timeout called by Hutch Tech. They have 2 to use. Laura Dishner, a lot of confused faces at Sparky Adams Field. Why that timeout was called with 11 seconds to go in the game.
Yeah, I don't love that timeout. It's not my favorite. You're 1 yard from the goal line, and you could have run out the clock here. And I just don't love the opportunity that you have a drop snap, a drop handoff, something like that.
Which they've had plenty of today.
Yeah, and, you know, like we've said it 25 times during this telecast that we, you know, have a younger quarterback who's a little bit more experienced. You know, I like my chances. Get me to overtime, and let's see how it goes.
There is a nervous hush across the Kenmore crowd to our left at Sparky Adams Field.
You know, and if you're Kenmore right here, you might want to put 3 or 4 pass rushers up and have them pin their ears back and get after her. Maybe something happens and you get the safety.
Here we go. 11 seconds to go in regulation, tied at 6 in this playoff flag football game. The freshman Stauffenberger, out of the timeout called by Hutch Tech, stands in her own end zone from the 2-yard line. The snap to Stauffenberger. She throws over the middle. It's nearly picked off. It falls incomplete in front of Gullo.
You know, and that stops the clock. So here we are again. Here we are again. They got to run another play here, and they're still back on their own 1-yard line. This is tricky if you're Hutch Tech.
That timeout from head coach Laura Dishner, questionable at the kindest, to now set up 3rd down with 7 seconds on the clock, and another snap to your quarterback who has bobbled a couple, standing in her own end zone, and now a much more reasonable timeout with the clock already stopped ahead of this snap. The final timeout for Hutch Tech tonight. This is BTPM's Friday Night Lights, presented by Villa Maria College, Western New York's home for innovative programs and unrivaled support. Support for Friday Night Lights comes from the Dick's House of Sport. Sport happens here, now open on Ridge Lee Road in Amherst, by Chef's Italian Restaurant in downtown Buffalo, home of the Spaghetti Parm, menu and more at ilovechefs.com, and by Brighton Liquor and Wine, 930 Brighton Road in Tonawanda.
You know, if this pass is incomplete right here, they're going to have to punt, and you're going to be punting to Mia Colosimo, who's one of the most electric punt returners in the game right now, with very little time left on the clock, and your last punt was 10 yards long. So not loving this if you're Hutch Tech.
3rd down and 18 from the 2 for Hutch Tech. And it's Roel Cox in at quarterback. She takes the snap, runs to her left, and her flag is pulled in the end zone. It's a safety for Kenmore with 2 seconds to go.
Everything there is to see in flag football. I cannot believe what I just saw.
The Kenmore Devil Dogs take an 8-6 lead with 2 seconds to go. Avery Johnson gets the stop for Kenmore, the safety to give the 3rd seed the lead for the first time tonight.
You know what? I love the idea for Hutch Tech of having one of your best runners roll Cox in the backfield with the ball, but I don't love anything about that sequence. That was a really difficult sequence right there. And, you know, you got Avery Johnson flying upfield, one of the best players on Kenmore, pulling the flag, getting the safety, and unless they pull something off, it's about as close to a walk-off safety as you can have.
The Kenmore faithful on their feet at Sparky Adams Field. And they get the football as well. A snap, a kneel down with no timeouts for Hutch Tech is all that separates Kenmore from the semifinal. Ferrari takes the knee. What was once impossibly looking becomes probable and absolutely perfect for Kenmore. The 3rd seed advances to the semifinal. The safety from Avery Johnson on the final play of the game. 8-6. Kenmore wins it over Hutch Tech.
If you had walk-off safety on your bingo card, you just won.
Your final score brought to you by Dick's House of Sport. Sport happens here, now open in Ridgely Road in Amherst. 8-6 Kenmore after trailing or being tied all night. The Devil Dogs, thanks to the freshman Avery Johnson, they win it 8-6 and advance to take on the 7-seed West Seneca next week, Wednesday night, in the semifinal. What a ball game from Sparky Adams Field. We'll dive into it all on our post-game show presented by Villa Maria College on BTPM's Friday Night Lights after this.
For a limited time only, the sun.
Climate change is getting worse.
Well, it's not so bad.
Are we too far gone?
Spoke too soon. It's my bad.
Can a bicycle actually help save the planet? I'm setting off across New York State to look for answers. Join me, Pat Kelly, as I ride from Buffalo to Brooklyn, finding community, culture, climate solutions, and of course, some great food along the way. I'll talk with scientists, advocates, changemakers, and the everyday people shaping what this great state can do in the fight against climate change. This is Rolling Through, a new bicycle travel show from BTPM PBS.
BTPM Plus, the best of PBS and Buffalo Toronto Public Media originals all in one place. Plus, watch all your favorites live and explore collections curated just for you. BTPM Plus, stream today.
Well, we always say on BTPM's Friday Night Lights, you always see something new every Friday when you're with us on BTPM. And boy, did we see something new tonight. A walk-off safety for the Kenmore Devil Dogs. The number 3 seed advances to the sectional semifinal. Kenmore wins it 8-6 over Hutch Tech. Welcome into the Villa Maria College post-game show. Jack Kreuzer with Keith Wing. Keith, I don't think anyone could have expected an ending like that. Where did it start to go wrong for Hutch Tech, who seemingly was in control for most of this game?
You know, both teams played great defense the entire game, but where the momentum shifted was that first possession for Kenmore in the second half, getting great field position, really shifting the field position for the rest of the game, eventually scoring. Then everything got a little bit tricky towards the end when Hutch Tech gets the ball deep in their own territory. That's where it really went sideways towards the end of the game for them.
What a celebration it is in Kenmore at Sparky Adams Field. 8-6 the final. They'll be waving the flag in celebration all night. And in honor of the freshman Avery Johnson, we will have a word with head coach Dan Hannon and our player of the game in just a moment. Keith, I still want to get more of your thoughts here on this second half. Kenmore really did take command, it seemed, despite the 3 interceptions from Roel Cox from Hutch Tech defensively. Ferrari settled into her own and set up that game-winning play with her runs to get it down to the 1-yard line, Kenmore's final drive.
Yeah, Coach Hannon really made a commitment in the second half to run Ferrari. You could see that was definitely something they were trying to do. They provided more blockers. They did more misdirection. She had 800-plus yards this year. It's a great idea to give her the ball. Now, they really picked up the momentum that way, got Buffalo back on their heels a little bit. But, hey, I got to give Buffalo a lot of credit. They played a fantastic game. Their defense was swarming. They were all over the place. They had some misfortune at the end of the game. That's what happens in these games. You know, they're tight games, 2 evenly matched teams. One thing goes one team's way, and that's it. But, you know, tough way to lose a sectional game on a walk-off safety.
It'll be Kenmore and West Seneca in the sectional semifinal in Class A. The Devil Dogs look to get back to the sectional championship in their second year as a program. They fell to Orchard Park last year. This is a big momentum swing for the Devil Dogs before going to the semifinal against a tough West Seneca team coming off a major win today, upsetting Jamestown.
Yeah, West Seneca is a sneaky team. They're really good. They've had some fantastic games this year. Their record is not as good as they play. They have a fantastic coach in Rudy Fish. He does a lot of things really well. He's very creative, always has a great defense. And so this is going to be an interesting matchup.
We'll continue the Villa Maria College post-game show in just a moment. I'll be down on the field with our player of the game and the victorious head coach from the Kenmore Devil Dogs. This is the Villa Maria College post-game show. 8-6, Kenmore the win over Hutch Tech.
BTPM Plus.
Go on.
It's an evolution of Buffalo Toronto Public Media.
You have to take risk to get reward.
Bringing you the best of PBS and the shows everyone's talking about.
Oh my gosh, there they are.
Where you can watch your favorite programs live.
Something for everyone, if you catch my drift.
Dig into collections curated just for you. And when you stream BTPM Plus, you support local storytelling.
Knowledge is power.
BTPM Plus. Start watching today.
Here at Buffalo Toronto Public Media, we operate a bit differently than other organizations. Much of what we do is funded by people in our community just like you. Over 50% of our total operating budget is comprised of donations from our members. When you call 1-800-727-1017 or go online to btpm.org and financially give to your local PBS station, you're supplying your favorite programs with support. Just like when you water your plants, feed a loved one, or install support beams when building a house, you're strengthening something that matters to you. Fuel public media right here in our own backyards. Whether you're located in Western New York, Southern Ontario, or even in another state, call 1-800-727-1017, go online to btpm.org, or scan that QR code now to donate.
A downed tree? A broken bike or 2? And hundreds of miles between Buffalo and Brooklyn. That's the journey in Rolling Through, a new video series from Buffalo Toronto Public Media. Producer Pat Kelly is biking the Empire State Trail, exploring nature, culture, and how eco-friendly travel can connect us to the places we visit.
We are getting rain soon.
Look at that, it's coming! New episodes of Rolling Through arrive every week. Watch on the BTPM YouTube channel and BTPM Plus.
Welcome back to the Villa Maria College post-game show. 8-6, Kenmore defeats Hutch Tech and the Buffalo Public Schools to advance in the Class A sectional semifinal to be played on Wednesday. Here with the victorious head coach, Dan Hannon. Wow, what a finish. Your immediate thoughts?
Yeah, I'm just very proud of the girls. Before the game, we said that this year's playoff mantra is going to be next play, find a way. And I told you before the game, this is a well-coached, tough football team we were playing in Buffalo. We knew it would be a dogfight to the end, and our girls never quit. They never hung their heads. They battled to the end, and I couldn't be prouder.
It was a 6-0 game at halftime. What were you telling your players?
Yeah, I told them that through 6 quarters of play versus them, we've allowed 6 points. So I didn't think that they were going to, I trusted our defense enough to know that they weren't going to run away with it, that we needed to just complete some drives, which we did. Some great execution in the second half from our quarterback, Sam, and Gianna Colosimo, and it was just great blocking up front, and they found a way to get it done.
Yeah, they certainly did, and it all came down to the freshman, Avery Johnson, our Chef's player of the game tonight. Avery, what were your thoughts on that last play?
Honestly, none. I guess I was just playing my game, and I don't know, it all happened so quick, I don't even know what to say anymore. It's just like such a big shock, and I'm so grateful to be able to be in this position, and I'm so grateful for my team, and I couldn't have done it without them.
To be one of the younger players on this team and have some superstars that are older than you making plays all day, what does it mean to you to make a play of that magnitude to keep your season alive?
I look up to them so much, and to just be able to again be in that position, it's just it's so happy because I'm with my team, and there's nothing better, honestly. And I'm just thinking about it, because I look up to them so much, to be able to make those plays in front of them, it makes me feel so special, and I love that I'm able to do that for them and for our team.
Well, you're going to keep playing, and now you got to eventually move past this emotion tonight and focus on West Seneca, who had an upset win earlier tonight. What, if you can, even start to think about what this team needs to do Wednesday?
Just play our game. I think if we play our game, we are the greatest team that there is, and I don't think anyone compares. Based on our work ethic and just how we are with each other, there's nothing better.
Our Chef's player of the game, freshman Avery Johnson from Kenmore. Coach, last question for you. Did you know you had West Seneca awaiting you before this game?
We did. We had a coaches group chat watching the whole live stream leading up. So it was before the girls got here. We didn't say anything before the game. It wasn't important, but yeah, we knew ahead of time.
What do you think about the matchup?
I think they're very well coached. We have a lot of respect for Coach Fish and the program. And like Avery said, if we just play our game, we'll be fine.
The Devil Dogs with maybe the most stunning win of the season, 8-6 over the Buffalo Public Schools and Hutch Tech. That's our player of the game, brought to you by Chefs. And the victorious head coach will wrap up the Villa Maria College post-game show after this on Friday Night Lights.
Chef's Italian Restaurant, 291 Seneca Street in downtown Buffalo, is where family and friends have been meeting to eat for over 100 years. Home of the world-famous spaghetti parm. Reservations at 716-856-9187. Support for Friday Night Lights comes from our members and from your local Denny's. America's Diner is always open. Denny's salutes Section 6 student athletes, serving you with 18 locations throughout the region.
We've always believed that sport has the power to change lives. It's happened here for decades. Community happens here. Sport happens here. The all-new Dick's House of Sport, a new destination for sport.
Right here in Amherst.
Fill your afternoons with the arts, culture, science, and history of our region.
I think that in the city of Buffalo, there's not a place like Clans Music Hall. It's a very unique place.
There's another way to see potential and kinetic energy at work, using nothing more than popsicle sticks.
After the war, he believed there was a great future for Canadian young, and he wanted them to see the world and realize this was just a start for them. The rest was up to them.
Watch the best of our region's storytellers, Fridays and Saturdays at 3:30 p.m.
Want more PBS Kids?
Sounds great! The answer is yes! Ready for an adventure?
Then check out the PBS Kids 24/7 channel.
The whoosy, whatsy, whoosy?
The PBS Kids 24/7 channel. On anytime you want. Afternoons, evenings, even weekends.
Wow! Can't stop this moon!
Watch on Spectrum 1276, Fios 473, or 17.3.
A downed tree, a broken bike or two, and hundreds of miles between Buffalo and Brooklyn. That's the journey in Rolling Through, a new video series from Buffalo Toronto Public Media. Producer Pat Kelly is biking the Empire State Trail, exploring nature, culture, and how eco-friendly travel can connect us to the places we visit.
We are getting rain soon.
Look at that, it's coming! New episodes of Rolling Through arrive every week. Watch on the BTPM YouTube channel and BTPM Plus.
Under the water tower in Kenmore, we just witnessed one of maybe the greatest games in Section 6 flag football history when it comes to sectional play. In the Class A quarterfinal, it is Kenmore victorious over Hutch Tech in the Buffalo Public Schools 8-6 on a walk-off safety from Avery Johnson. Jack Kreuzer, Keith Wing with you on the Villa Maria College postgame show. Wow. I mean, it's hard to believe what we just saw and that game. You've had some time to think about it. I wish we could speak to Laura Dishner after that game. That timeout called when the clock could have went down to zeros costs Buffalo Public Schools their season.
Yeah, really unfortunate situation. And as coaches, we all make decisions that we regret. But that was one that's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough pill to swallow. Hutch Tech played great. They played a great game, played fantastic defense. But, Kenmore comes out on top here.
8-6 the final. It was a passing touchdown a rushing touchdown from Ferrari on the second possession of the second half for Kenmore, which was the result of an Avery Johnson interception the drive before. What a game for the freshman from Kenmore Johnson, and a poised interview. Also, if you just missed it, you're just joining us on BTPM, NPR, YouTube, or Create. You can find this game archived on YouTube, and I think you're going to want to watch this whole one back again. What great defense all throughout, and for Avery Johnson to have the play of the night, certainly a special moment for her and her teammates and her family.
Coach Hannon before the game said that Avery's one of the smartest players he's ever had. She plays on the backside. She plays on the front side. She had 7 interceptions going into today. Just a fantastic game for her, and to be so young and have a game like this, what a huge impact.
We'll wrap things up in just a moment. Take one more quick break on the Villa Maria College postgame show when we'll take a quick second to preview the sectional championships coming your way next Saturday. More on that on the other side of this break on the BTPM Friday Night Lights postgame show.
Brighton Wine and Liquor, located at 930 Brighton Road in Tonawanda, features wines from all over the world and expert curators who can help you select the right wine or spirit for your occasion. Brighton Wine and Liquor, 930 Brighton Road in Tonawanda. Support for Friday Night Lights comes from our members and from SEI. SEI proudly supports the WNED Foundation, connecting communities through the Friday Night Lights tradition. More information at SEIC.com. Support for Friday Night Lights comes from our members and from Mr. Goodbar, your home for live music on the Elmwood Strip in Buffalo. You'll find your beverage of choice, a full menu, and live entertainment at Mr. Goodbar, Elmwood Avenue, Buffalo. Support for Friday Night Lights comes from our members and from your local Denny's. America's Diner is always open. Denny's salutes Section 6 student athletes, serving you with 18 locations throughout the region.
What turned out to be an all-time classic at Sparky Adams Field, Kenmore victorious under the lights on BTPM's Friday Night Lights. The Devil Dogs win it 8-6 over Hutch Tech. Welcome back inside the Lou Reuter press box. Jack Kreuzer, Keith Wing with you on Villa Maria College postgame show. Let's get to the bracket for Class A, where the Devil Dogs will advance as the 3 seed to take on the number 7 seed West Seneca, who upset Jamestown earlier today. The semifinals will be Wednesday, May 20th. That game will be here at Sparky Adams Field. Next Saturday, we'll be live at 10 a.m. for the Class A Championship on BTPM Create. You can catch that game at channel 1275 for the Class A Championship on Friday Night Lights. Let's take a look at Class B real quick as we wrap things up on the Villa Maria College postgame show. Clarence, the 1 seed, Will South, Will East, Grand Island. The other 3 home teams to play a quarterfinal game tomorrow. What game excites you the most?
I really like this Will South versus Will East game. There's a lot of forever. Bad blood, Will South, Will East. It's going to be a great matchup. Two really good coaches, two really good teams. That's going to be exciting to see.
That is if they win their quarterfinal tomorrow.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that. We have that North Tonawanda game against Will South, and that's going to be epic in itself. North Tonawanda took Will South right to the edge in the last matchup.
Let's take a quick look at Class C. We'll have that B final at noon next Saturday in Class C at 2 p.m. on BTPM Create and BTPM NPR. How do you not want to see either Fredonia, Depew, or Pioneer in the championship game next Saturday?
You know, Pioneer is such a dominant team. You know, everywhere they go, they just play fantastic flag football. Coach Edwards is one of the best coaches around, and they are just going to be really tough to overtake in Class C, that's for sure.
And despite going undefeated, the Pioneer Panthers get the 2 seed because Depew, with 1 loss, still had more league wins, though they had more league games played. So Depew gets the higher seed and perhaps the more unfavorable matchup with Southwestern in the quarterfinal tomorrow, and then the winner of Health Sciences and Fredonia in the semis. Pioneer might be one of the only schools in this area that you can't recruit at Villa Maria College because all their players are going to the Division I and II levels.
Yeah, Pioneer's got some fantastic players, and Coach Edwards does a great job with them. They are just really an elite program. One coach said to me, "What's the difference between Pioneer and other teams?" I was like, "Pioneer might be invincible." that might be the difference between them and everybody else.
Thanks for joining us on BTPM's Friday Night Lights. For our BTPM NPR audience, your favorite music's coming up next on The Bridge. On Create, it's Field Trip with Curtis Stone, Hong Kong. And on YouTube, head over to the Rolling Through playlist and watch that show on BTPM. For Keith Wing, it's Jack Kreuzer saying, till next time, I bid you adieu.